Hey everyone, welcome back to our UV unwrapping series. Today we are going to be learning how to straighten out UVs. So first thing I'm going to do is set up a texture so we can actually see what changes we're making. So first of all, at the start of the video you could see I had a little workspace on the left here, so I'm going to show you how to get that. So I'll come up to the top left hand corner, and where the little cross appears, I'm just going to left to hold and drag, pull this out. Then I'm going to left click this button here and change it to UV editor. When I left click my object and press tab to go into edit mode, you can see this will show our UV here. I'm just going to create a quick unwrap to get started. So I'm going to press 2 in the keyboard to go into edge select mode, and I'll press alt left click to select this top loop here. Then if you remember how we unwrap cylindrical objects, I'm just going to shift left click one of these edges here, and then I'm going to press shift alt left click to select this bottom one here. If you're new to unwrapping cylinders and don't know why we're doing this, I recommend checking out my unwrapping cylinders video. Now I've got all my edges selected, I'll press Ctrl E, and then I'm going to choose Mark C. Then I can press A to select all, U to open the unwrap menu, and press unwrap. Then in the bottom left hand corner of the 3D viewport, the little unwrap menu will be here, and I'm going to change my margin to 0.01. Perfect. Now we have our 3 islands. You can see the circles are fine, but this here will create some issues when we're wanting to texture. But first of all, we need to add a texture to actually see. So I'm going to press tab to come back into object mode for now, and I'm going to left click and drag this along just so I can see more of my top bar, and I'm going to go into this viewport shading. Now I'm going to change my clock here, or timeline, to the shader editor so I can create a quick material. I'll press plus new, and I'm going to press shift A, and then under texture I'm going to choose brick texture, and I'm just going to plug the color into the base color. And right now you can see how distorted this is looking. Then I'm going to need to tell the brick texture which coordinates to use, so I'm going to press shift A, then under input I'm going to choose texture coordinate. This will allow me to use the UV coordinates in this case, which just takes the information from our UV map and uses that to decide how the texture is displayed. The top and the bottom aren't too bad, but here we want this to be straight, but at the moment it's kind of curved, and if I press tab to go into edit mode, you can see this is happening because this here isn't straight. Thankfully, to fix this is pretty easy. What I'm going to do is choose one of these faces, roughly one in the middle, and I'm going to start off by selecting this edge here. Then I'm going to want to scale it on the y-axis by 0. The y-axis is the up and down one in here. This wouldn't be z in this case for up and down because this is a 2D plane, which only works with x and y. For example, if I press S and then x, you can see that that'll scale it left and right. And if I press S and then y, that would scale it up and down. So what I'm going to do to make it completely straight, I'm going to press S, Y, and then 0. And that will completely flatten it along that y-axis. Then I'm going to select the top one here and press S, Y, and 0. You can see that that's now made both of these straight. If I press Ctrl Z to undo that, I could also right click and choose align horizontally. And notice how that does the same thing. I could also left click this edge here, and I'm going to want to scale it on the X axis. So I'll press SX and then 0. That's going to straighten out that one. Then I'll left click the other one, and I'll do the align vertically this one. So I'll just right click and then choose align vertically. So you can either scale it on one axis by 0, or you can just use the align vertically or horizontal. Awesome. Now what I'm going to do is press 3 on the keyboard to go into face select mode in my UV editor. I'm going to select my face, the one that I've straightened out, and then I'm going to press L. What L does is selects the linked island. Then I can just right click and then choose follow active quads. And now we have it completely straightened out. We might need to move it, so I'll press G to just move this along. This is to stop any overlap here, which is very important for texture baking or texture painting. Now in our 3D viewport, you can see this is looking much cleaner. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want more UV tips like this, make sure to check out my playlist here, as I'm going through a bunch of great techniques you can use to enhance your UV unwrapping skills. In the next video, we're going to be UV unwrapping a more complex object using the skills of UV unwrapping cylinders and cubes together, as well as how to straighten out UVs. But with that, I'd like to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next video. Take care.